A big topic of conversation over the last week has been that Chris Jones wants out of Kansas City due to wanting to get paid, which he rightfully deserves. Since entering the league in 2016, he has been one of the best defensive tackles in the game. The 29-year-old already is a four-time All-Pro, four-time Pro Bowler, top 3 finalist for Defensive Player of the Year, and 2-time Super Bowl champion. He would bring a massive upgrade to the defensive line if the Chicago Bears were to go out and get him, and I'm going to break down my thoughts and opinion if we should go out and get Chris Jones or not. Hello, everyone, back to this episode of Just Another Year Chicago. My name is Nick Rohde. Thank you, as always, for tuning in. It would be insane if Chicago can pull off a fair deal for both sides for Chris Jones to come to Chicago, as that is a win-now move, and he would put the defense over the top, arguably top 3. And I'm going to break down a little bit more on Chris Jones about what he brings to the Chicago Bears if he were to come here, and also my thoughts if we should bring him in or not. The 6'6", 298-pound 29-year-old was drafted in 2016 in the second round out of Mississippi State. Guess who was in the front office when they drafted him, though? In the Kansas City Chiefs front office, Ryan Poles was sitting there when they made the call. A good connection to have. Jones is slim and fast for his massive frame, exactly what Ryan Poles also is looking for, and he seems to have brought that over from the Chiefs organization. Jones has a 40 time of 5.03, pretty fast for a big defensive lineman like him. Hand size of 9 inches in diameter, an arm length of 32 3/4 inches, a vertical of 24 inches, which is a huge impact on pass deflections, which I'll break down those stats in a little bit. And he benched 225 pounds in 2016, 26 times in a row. He's obviously bigger and stronger, but you got to remember, being 6'6", longer arms, much harder for you in order to wrap out those 225s. So let's go into his stats overall. In his overall career, he's played in 107 games with 243 tackles, 65 sacks, 65 tackles for loss, 146 quarterback hits, 12 forced fumbles, 3 fumble recoveries, 2 interceptions, and 33 pass deflections for a defensive lineman. In 2022, arguably his best year, where he finished 3rd in Defensive Player of the Year voting, he played in 17 games, 44 tackles, 15.5 sacks for a defensive tackle. Keep that in mind. 17 tackles for loss, 29 quarterback hits, 2 forced fumbles, 1 fumble recovery, 4 pass deflections. Clearly, the dude is everything the Chicago Bears or any team needs to have one of the nastiest defensive lines in football. He's a quarterback's nightmare, getting after the quarterback at ease and disrupts a lots of plays. He's a running back nightmare by either slowing them down or pretty much taking them down himself. And especially for the offensive line, constant double teams opening up opportunities for the rest of the team, and the Bears have a pretty nasty defensive line now. So all that sounds great, but what's it going to take to get him? To start, he wants $30 million a year. One, that is insane. That is a lot of money and cap for a guy who is 29 years old at an aging defensive line position. Now, let's see what it would take to get him. I'm going to use the Tyreek Hill example that the Chiefs have with the Dolphins as a trade, because they are the same level type of players at their respective positions. So the trade with the Dolphins and the Chiefs for Tyreek Hill was a first, a second, 2 more fourths, and a 6. And with a guy like Chris Jones, it's going to take something similar to that. If they were to trade for him today, I feel like it would take Carolina's first, Chicago's second, next year's Chicago's third, and maybe Travis Gibson. Actually, yes, Travis Gibson or Justin Jones. And with that short information above, I'm staying far away from this trade. The Bears are building this thing right. They're building it through the draft. They're not taking on super heavy cap contracts. They're doing friendly contracts and being smart with their money. Yes, Chicago has a ton of cap next year as well, but we have to extend guys like Jalen Johnson, Justin Fields, Tevin Jenkins, potentially Chase Claypool, Darnell Mooney, a lot of younger stars that are developing and showing a lot of promise. Ryan Poles is going to keep all those guys, but let's say they all do work out. You have to re-sign all of them, and that $30 million can sign multiple of those guys instead of just bringing in one guy who is also aging and not going to be on this team for the long-term future. It'll be a short-term fix, kind of like Khalil Mack. Put your thoughts in the comment section below about what you guys think about this. But with that, thank you very much for joining this episode of Just Another Year Chicago. My name is Nick Rohde. We'll see you guys next time.